Tea Time. I am so excited about today's conversation. Today we are going to chat about friendships. And I've actually had this outlined for months. And I think that my best friend, Carol, who is also the better half of TTL, we wanted to chat about friendships because in today's climate, we couldn't do what we do without each other, and we wanted to really talk about the bond that she and I share, kind of give you a backstory of how we met each other. So first off, let's chat about what I'm drinking. So today I have a tea that actually, what better tea to share today than the tea that my best friend Carol sent me for Valentine's Day, and it's from a brand called Alaya. And it is a caffeine-free mint tea, fresh mint tea. It's organic, and I love mint tea. It is very soothing for the tummy. And if I'm not drinking green tea, I tend to enjoy mint tea, especially in the evening. So we're gonna have a sip of tea, which is so, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have another sip. So let's jump into this, babes. So when I talk about friendships, I'm talking about those ride or die friendships, those relationships that are really special and that are very meaningful in your life. And we're talking about quality over quantity. I've never been the kind of person that has a lot of friends, but I do cherish and value the really small group of friends that I have. Now more than ever, we need friendships that lift us up, friends that we can count on every day, the friends that you can just call and they can hear the tone in your voice and know that they're gonna step in and just say the words you need to hear. Or sometimes just that person that listens and listens with compassion and listens with love, basically. I think friendships are a unique type of love, a selfless love, and can be an unconditional love. And it's a love and a relationship that you two are seeking out and find a way to cherish your bond and make it extra special. And now, of course, with quarantine, those relationships, I would imagine, I know it's been for myself, I have to check in with my Carol pretty much every day. Like, we have a lifeline that is truly, I don't know how to say, she and I are soulmates in a way. Our bond started when we were just 20 years old. So Carol and I are both the same age. And Carol, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say your age. She's 43, I'm about to turn 43. So we've been friends pretty much all of our adult life, growing up, maturing, and we met when I was a junior designer and she worked for my boss at the interior design firm that I worked at. And I think Carol will tell a story and say that I am going to be friends with that woman. And I mean, she saw me through so much in my life. And basically, I feel like our bond is extra deep because our childhoods, there's certain obstacles, I'll just put it like that, that she and I both had to overcome when we were young, and it made us very resilient and made us very hardworking, and we love hard and we give, you know, selflessly of ourselves to each other. And to find that in another person is priceless. It is like a soulmate worthy relationship. We definitely, it's more than just completing each other's sentences, because that isn't really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about someone that you could be vulnerable with, that can be vulnerable with you, that you don't have petty jealousy with, that you're always cheering them on. See, we share that together. And so those things, jealousy, judgment, pettiness, those kinds of things, there's no place for that in friendships. I feel like you're gonna get that out there in the world, right? But when it comes to the people that you want to let into your inner circle and let them know basically everything that's going on with you, they're kind of like a therapist, right? Sometimes your friends, they're there to celebrate with, they're there to laugh with, they're there to sometimes dry your tears. They prop you up and fill you up with happiness. So when I talk about jealousy, I feel like this is definitely the venom that could undermine a relationship. And I encourage people out there, instead of jealousy, find friendships or people that you admire and that in turn can inspire you. And I guarantee you, as much as you're admiring that individual, they're admiring you for your qualities. It's what each of you kind of bring to the table and bring to the relationship that makes it so special. You each are unique and each deserve to be celebrated and be each other's champions and cheerleaders. And that is what builds that self-confidence, and that's what builds up self-esteem. And it's just so important, in my opinion, that friends that you have in your life, if they're not bringing that to you and it just feels like it's an uphill, then maybe that's not a healthy relationship. And by no means am I like a therapist or anything like that. I'm talking about what I have observed in relationships over my last, lifetime. And I really do feel like jealousy, if you're feeling that type of jealousy in a relationship, that cannot be positive. I believe that, again, that you admire each other and that each of you kind of cheer on those beautiful qualities that each of you have. When I talk about being vulnerable in a relationship, I think it's easy to say to be vulnerable, but there's the other side of the coin, which is called judgment. I feel like judgment is what stops you from being vulnerable. How can you be your honest, authentic self if you feel like an individual is going to be judging you? That is definitely going to stifle the relationship and not allow you to grow and mature with each other. And so when you think about your ride or die person in your life, in friendships, and I just know that I could be as vulnerable as ever with Carol, and she will never judge me. In fact, she's my rock. She is the person that, honestly, I can't even function without Carol these days. She calms me down. She knows the words to use. She knows the tone of voice to use. And because we have a business together now, she is my everything. I really feel like I cannot make it through our work schedule, juggling motherhood, juggling being married, our homes, like everything. She is my rock, and I can be vulnerable with her. I know she's not gonna judge me. And in fact, our lives parallel so much that it's more of like a tag team of venting sometimes, and sometimes she's just quiet and listens to me. But ultimately, it comes from the fact that she can be vulnerable with me, I can be vulnerable with her, and there is zero judgment. And it's a thing of beauty. It is so precious and so special. And I know I keep saying that word special, but I just cannot articulate. I feel like I'm doing such a crappy job here of articulating that type of bond and special connection that I share with her. It is priceless. The thing about like my relationship with Carol is I've had some lows, guys, in my life, and guess who's been there for all of my lows? Carol. She's been there through the birth of my second daughter. She has been there since May was like, 3-4 4, really little, when May used to like hide under my desk at work or whatever. She's been there for that. She's been there for my separation from their dad. She's been there through my hysterectomy. She's been there through building a business together. She's been there through, I mean, on and on and on. Homelessness, joblessness. She has been there. And it's just, I cannot tell you, each time that she can hear it in my voice, she can see it in my eyes. And when she watches our tea times, especially the ones that are like super soul bearing, she cries. Because she has lived my life with me. And I've lived my life with her. Her husband, I consider my friend too. Like, he's my BFF too. And as long as I've known her, I've known him and her kids. I feel like her sons are my sons. And the love that I share for her and her family is because we can be that kind of like raw, vulnerable person. And like I said, she has seen me through everything. In that way, it is a beautiful feeling, and there is a tremendous sense of security that she's always by my side, that I can always turn to her, that she is going to tell me what I need to hear, not always what I want to hear. She doesn't have to protect me from myself. In a way, I just feel like Carol she just knows how to talk to me, and I don't know. It's so. The final thing that I want to encourage all of you to do is, we talk about love between our children, we talk about love between sort of like our significant others or our family, but I just want to sum this up with the love that you can have with your friends, and telling each other how much you value them, and letting them know that you do love them, and finding ways to, even during these times, finding ways to show that love, like sending me a tea just because she knows I really love tea. And when it comes to sometimes those gestures of love and letting your friends know that you love them, it's just what they need. And so, I mean, truly, I try to wake up and I tell everyone in my life that I love them, but I also, Carol lives in Texas. I should have said that from the jump. She lives in Dallas, and so she moved from LA years ago now, and I miss her all the time. And so it's even more important that we reach out and tell each other that we love each other. And it's oh my goodness. Babes, let your friends know that you love them is basically what I'm getting at. It's more important than, I don't know, going to brunch and all those things that we're not allowed to do at this time. I know the world is kind of opening up a little bit more, but during this year of quarantine, I feel like just that simple act of letting Carol know that I love her, cheering her on, she cheers me on, it makes me feel confident, it makes me feel beautiful, it makes me feel loved, and I want her to know that she is definitely cherished and loved. And this is something that we do every single day. And on that note, when this tea time is over, call a friend, text a friend, email a friend, FaceTime a friend, and let them know that you're thinking about them and that you love them. And I consider all of you my friends. And the reason that I really wanted to have this conversation is that as a community and as we are evolving here at TTL, I want you guys out there to know that everything that I do comes from a place of love, and that everything that I share with you is because I want you to feel like we're connected, and that's why tea times are so special to me, and that's why this conversation about friendship was so important today. And on that note, I am going to finish my beautiful cup of love tea from my best friend. And you darlings have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next tea time. And I have a little idea of what I want to share, and it's a little bit of a heavy conversation, but it's one that someone follower asked me to talk about, and I think I need to talk about it, and it's about being remarried and blended families, and that, because I've actually never shared kind of my story about how I met my husband, or I've definitely talked about separation and divorce and all of that stuff, but I think the next tea time I want to dive into my own personal story about being remarried and how that was for my children, and going from being single and all those things. It's a heavy one, but I think it's an important one. And until then, I love you darlings, and to all my friends out there, see you on the next one. Cheers.